What's going on, everybody? Adam here with the etrailer. Today we're going to be taking a look at a nice little accessory for your water pump. It is the Seaflo Accumulator tank. You may not need a water pump. Maybe you're just not a fan of how loud it is or how often it runs, especially at night. A lot of people say that some of the more noisy pumps wake up the kids at night. So what this is going to do, it's going to give you about 0.75 liters of water. It's going to pre-pressurize it, and it's just going to make it run a little bit less, which is going to put less strain on your battery. It's going to prolong the life of your pump, and it makes it a lot quieter. And a lot of the times with almost any single pump that you may have, you're going to see a little bit of sputtering, but this is literally exactly how it is at home for me. There's no sputtering. You can't really tell that there's a pump really doing it. So I really like this. I think the biggest thing, it makes it super quiet, and you get a very, very at-home feel when it comes to the consistency and pressure. One thing about the actuator tank that's awesome is it's going to have a very consistent flow. So you're going to have a perfect mixture of hot and cold water whenever you're showering, so you don't feel those fluctuations in temp. It's going to be a lot easier on your plumbing too, just because that tank's going to be taking a little bit of that pressure, so all your lines aren't feeling it. And with some of these pumps, you literally turn it on and it pumps automatically, but with this one I can go about 6 times and then it pumps for literally only a couple seconds. So the run time is 100%, a lot less, doesn't run as long, and you're gonna have a little bit of water before it turns on, so you won't wake up those kiddos. But it's just so quiet. I don't know if you can hear it, but it's hardly nothing. Whether you're just replacing your pump, I highly recommend putting one of these in, or if you just want a little bit better experience with your water pump, this is going to just do a lot for you. So I would highly recommend this. I'm going to have one of these in my camper just because it makes it run smoother, it's easier on all the components, and it's not near as loud. That is just a very, very essential accessory in my opinion. A lot of you guys are wondering if it's going to work with your water pump. Well, if you buy one from us, it's going to work. If you have one that isn't from us, it's going to work. It literally works with any RV water pump, so you don't have to worry about that. When it comes to products that are going to protect what you already have, and in this case, your batteries for your camper, your plumbing for your camper, and the water pump, it just seems like a no-brainer to me, and it really didn't take a whole lot of time to install it. So if you stick around, we'll run you through that really short install process. So when you buy this kit, you're just going to get the pressure tank, and then you're going to get these little fittings here. That comes with the kit, but what doesn't come with the kit that we're going to need to do, one, mounting hardware. So you're going to have to supply that yourself. Just go to your local hardware store and grab whatever works best for you. We are going to need some thread tape. We have that at etrailer, so you can add that to your cart. We are going to need some hose clamps. We also have those. You can just add it to your cart. And then we are going to need some tubing. So I just grabbed the 10-foot, which is the smallest one that we have. But again, we have it, so just add it to your cart. First thing we want to do is just prepare this tank. So I always start with the tape. You don't want to forget this step. And all you really want to do is just go around your threads. Tape up your threads. Simple enough. Just like 1 or 2 times around will do. You just want to get it on the majority of the threads, if not all of them. Cut it off, kind of press down on it so they seat down in those threads like that. Do the same exact thing for the other side. And this is quite a bit that you get. So if this is all you're doing, you're going to have a lot of excess. But it's not a bad thing to have in your repertoire whenever you're doing other kind of work. Even just at home, you can use this in your house too. So once that's on there, we're good to go. Depending on your setup, it's going to depend on where these are going to go. So let's evaluate what we're working with. We need this tank to be on the outlet side. So wherever your filter is on your pump, put it on the other side. Inlet, filter, pump, and then of course our tank. So the way this is set up on that side, we're just going to thread that piece on, and then we're going to take the little pieces that come with our kit, and we're going to put one here and then put one here as well. So this needs to have a 1/2 inch ID tubing. So that's interior diameter. So just grab that on our website so it all fit up. But as you can see, we're not going to need a whole lot of tubing. So if you have some of that tubing at home, great. If not, we have a 10-foot roll. It's the smallest one we got. So that's basically all we really need to do. There's not a lot of room in there. So I'm just going to screw this thing down. I'm going to connect that. I'm going to put this on, cut our tubing, and then use our hose clamps to put right here over the tubing so it doesn't leak. And then we'll go from there. So I'm going to do that off camera just because we both can't fit in there. So here it is installed. As you can see, we used hardly any tubing, but that's just in this situation. So you just grab that 10-foot roll and just fill the gap. Before you turn any water or put anything through this, what we want to do is take this off right here and just take a low pressure gauge, and you want to make sure there's about 3 psi in there. This one was already at 3 psi when we installed it, so we're good, but you just want to check. But if you do need to add a little bit or take a little bit out, all you got to do, just press that in to take some air out and just use whatever method you want to pump this up. It's only 3 psi, so maybe just a bike pump or something like that. But it's very, very simple and not a hard step. And we're pretty much ready to go. So I'm just gonna go ahead and turn on the power and just get that cycling through. So I have the power on, but I have one switch I can pull right here. So it is quieter than it was before, so that's kind of cool. And then we do want to make sure there's no leaks or anything. It seems like we're pretty good there. And now we do want to get the air out of the lines. So there we go. Now we can go back over to the bathroom, to our other faucet, to get the air out of those lines too. And this is a longer line, so there's gonna be a little bit more air in there. So I'm gonna leave that running. And then while I'm back here, not get wet. And let's just get these lines clear of air. And we are good to go. And that'll do it for a look at the Seaflo Accumulator tank.